Imagine this. You're a founder, your calendar is chaos, and you want one thing from Europe: a stable base where you can work, meet people, build, and not spend half your life on immigration bureaucracy. If you don't have to imagine this, but instead you're forced to live in such circumstances, this video is just for you. For many our clients, Estonia often looks like the obvious answer. But then people hear digital nomad visa and assume it's either a magic live in the EU and pay no taxes forever cheat code or a marketing label for tourists with laptops. It's neither, so let's do this properly, in a way founders actually need. Welcome to Icon.Partners channel, the place where we help founders to understand the clearest image of how things operate in a tech business world. First, a 20-second reality check quiz. If you say yes to at least two, keep watching. You can work location independently, fully remote, using telecoms. Your employer, your company, or your main clients are outside Estonia, and you can prove a stable income that's currently around 4,500 euros per month based on the previous 6 months. If that's you, Estonia's digital nomad visa might be one of the cleanest work from Europe setups on the map. But to use it well, you need to understand what it actually is. Estonia's digital nomad visa is essentially Estonia saying, fine, you can live here temporarily and keep doing your remote work, as long as your work is not for an Estonian employer and your income is real and documentable. The core eligibility logic is simple: remote work plus a foreign employer, company, or clients. And yes, it's designed as a temporary stay option. Up to 1 year is the headline most official and government-linked sources repeat. Now let's address the biggest confusion founders have. These three get mixed up constantly. Digital nomad visa is the right to be physically in Estonia while you work remotely. E-Residency is a digital ID that lets you run an Estonian company online. It's not a visa and doesn't give you the right to live in Estonia. Startup visa is for non-EU founders who want to actually build a startup in Estonia with local presence, not just work remotely from a cafe. So if you're a founder, the smart question isn't which is best, it's which tool matches what I'm doing this year. Now let's talk about founders specifically, because digital nomad sounds like it's only for freelancers with a MacBook and a surfboard. It's not. If you're an early stage founder, solo, or a tiny team, the digital nomad visa can function like a soft landing into the EU ecosystem. You get a year of legal presence to test talent as a base, meet partners, accelerators, talent, investors, and build product without rushing into a long-term relocation bet. The visa is especially useful when your company and revenue are already international, and you just need a place with solid digital infrastructure and a founder-friendly environment without pretending you're opening an office on day one. If you're a bigger founder, say you have a team, recurring revenue, maybe investors, the visa can be a transition layer. It gives you time to do the real work behind relocation, decide whether Estonia becomes a true hub, align payroll, tax, personal residence plans, set up legal structure cleanly, and only then escalate into something more permanent if it makes sense. It's not move forever. It's operate here legally while you decide. Now, the part everyone loves to skip: tax and compliance reality. Estonia doesn't do vibes. Estonia does rules. If you physically stay in Estonia for 183 days or more within 12 consecutive calendar months, you can become an Estonian tax resident from the first day of arrival in that period. And Estonia's own e-residency channels explicitly warn digital nomad visa holders about this. Stay over that threshold and you should expect resident tax obligations. So the visa does not magically remove tax questions. It just gives you a legal basis to stay, and then your tax position depends on time spent and your broader circumstances. Now let's get practical. How it works in real life. The application flow is surprisingly human. You generally apply with an Estonian embassy or consulate, or with authorized visa centers, something like VFS in some countries. And in some cases you can apply in Estonia with police and border guard offices if you're already there. Processing is commonly described as up to around 30 days, but of course it can vary by location and workload. The docs banks love. Expect similar energy here. Typical proof includes evidence of remote work such as employment contract, service agreements, company documents, income proof for the last 6 months, health insurance for the period of visa duration, and a clean, coherent, what I do and where my money comes from story. And yes, the income threshold is pretty large gate. The current number frequently cited in Estonia's official and government-linked sources is €4,500 per month, though it is often described as gross. Some pages phrase it differently, so always confirm via the embassy or the official channel you're applying through. Now the spot where founders usually mess it up. Mistake number 1 is treating it like you have a tourist visa. If your story is "I'm kind of working online" and your proof is a few random invoices, you're inviting extra scrutiny. Estonia likes clean documentation and consistency. Mistake number 2 is confusing remote work with work in Estonia. Digital Nomad Visa is built around working remotely for foreign structures. It's not designed as a backdoor work permit for Estonian employment. Mistake number 3 is ignoring the 183-day tax trigger. A lot of people plan a 1-year stay and only later realize they may have created tax residency. The rule exists, it's published, and it's not subtle. Now let's do the founder thing. Turn this into a simple decision tree. Use Estonia's Digital Nomad Visa if you already have foreign income, you can document it cleanly, you want a temporary EU base, and you're not ready to commit to permanent relocation or a heavy local structure yet. Don't use it if your income is unstable or hard to evidence, if you actually need to be hired locally in Estonia, or if your plan relies on "nobody will notice I stayed too long." If you're watching this and thinking, "Okay, this sounds useful, but I don't want to guess my way through the paperwork and the residency or tax implications," that's where Icon.Partners can help. We don't do hype or guarantees. We provide practical guidance on Estonia based on your specific situation, especially when a visa decision connects to company setup and longer-term planning. You'll find a link to our website in the description. Fill in the form, and you can expect full support for working with this jurisdiction in a structured, realistic way. Because the best way to use Estonia's Digital Nomad Visa isn't to chase a label, it's to buy yourself time, legally, to build the next version of your business with a European base that actually makes sense. Thanks for watching, and in the next episode, we'll break down Estonia's e-Residency, what it really gives you, what it doesn't, and how founders actually use it to run an Estonian company without confusing it with a visa or residency.